Good morning, traders. Paul here with GammaEdge. Today is Friday, the 18th of November. Let's get rolling. Pause your players here. Read to the bottom. If you agree, hit that play button. Summary for today. All the market models are still in cash or short. We do see an intraday reversal yesterday, of course, which could put upward pressure on the models, and we'll know more at the end of the day. We'll cover it over the weekend also. The other models, all are bearish. The primary trend is down, short term, medium term, long term. Plus GEX has dropped to 4,000 from 4,100. Why that is relevant is that when we see short-term gamma drop closer to spot price, we typically think the market players are looking to participate in a short-term bump. Overall, though, a dropping GEX, plus GEX, is not good for the longer term. We want the complex to shift upward both in minus GEX as well as plus GEX, and it's not happening. We're seeing some short-term opportunistic behavior here, so just be aware. Minus GEX remains at 3,600, so the floor remains, it's growing. Nevertheless, the 4,000 strike is clearly in the crosshairs and has grown a very, very large amount over the last 2 days. Just a reminder, the AM settled SPX vaporizes at the open, and so the AMs will shift out to December. They're effectively there. Yesterday was the last trading day for the AMs. That is the mothership, for over 4 trillion notional in that. That's T trillion. So those are not, aside from the settlement and the deltas that have to go with that settlement, not much is going to happen with that, and we're looking out to now to December for the AMs. The PMs are important. That is exactly what is in play today, and you can run that in the Discord, our $ expiry or $E, the SPXP, just run the P. There's no sense running the entire SPX complex. Why process the monthlies if they're not relevant in the short term? So just urge everyone to focus on this, and you'll get a faster return because we're not processing as much data. We are mindful of numerous pinning areas. I did cover this in my morning notes in the Discord. Relatively poor structure in the 1DTE. This is Monday's setup. We do have a large expiry today, so I am expecting a lot of shifting around due to today. Over here on the SPX PMs, this is what is in play today. A couple changes. So this is not changed. We still see plus GEX COI at 4 grand. 3,800 has moved from 3,835. This is the JPM end of December strike, and now we're starting to see this, which is more liquid, rear its head. So we want people to pay attention to that. Even though it's fallen, this is an illiquid level. This is a very liquid level. So when we see the emergence here, this is telling us we're seeing some puts go in, and that generally is to start taking advantage of potentially any downside move. POI, which is not a gamma or delta construct, but we do watch it, has moved up from 3 grand up to 3,300. And this means that more puts went in than were at 3,000, and as a result, people are positioning now for the downside. And we're seeing this in the true delta zero and true gamma zero charts that we regularly post. Over here in the combo, we did have a change here. Like I said, we've gone from 4,100 down to 4,000 in plus GEX. COI, POI still remain at this level. This is the near-term upside target. 3,600 is the downside. This expected move is actually pulled from the AMs. Let's not look at that. You'll see on the next slide when we do the PMs that it's up in the 2s, which is normal. So here's that 2s, 2.6 is the expected move. Open, high, low, close, not close, close. We get a lot of questions on that. Want everyone to be aware of that. So 0 DTE today, pretty tight transition. Looking here, there's a couple flip areas in here that we are looking at. We don't think we're going to go much below the 39.25. If we do retest the downside, we think the 0 DTE will hold us up. But we also are mindful that it's going to be really difficult to go above 40.15, 40.20. Certainly possible with just the pure 0 DTE. But nevertheless, be aware, we do think the real true range is going to be in here with that 4,000 strike looming large today. The 1DTE, as I said in my morning notes, even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. We have several possible transition areas. I didn't highlight this one either. You can see the delta structure is pretty poor. You can see there's a lot of back and forth in the gamma structures of the magnitudes. A lot of hiding areas. We don't think we're going any higher than the 4,000 strike, but if we do push upward to that 4040, you could see that as being, in play, nothing much above the 4040 range into today. So I would be looking at this range, and this range with possibly a broken wing butterfly or something up here, and maybe some low-cost butterflies in these various areas. Looking at the combo, transitions a little bit larger. Just be aware that where the PMs are dominating the conversation today, and we really don't need to pay a lot of attention to the combo because it's actually gotten pushed out. When we take a look at the delta moneyness, we're actually pulling in, and this means that calls are being closed and puts are being open, which is putting downward pressure on the balance points. This is for the SPY. 2 days running now are showing a little more potential on the downside, and that means that we could actually see some monetization to the upside just to over 4,000, maybe at 401 in the SPY, 402, and then head south again. So just be aware of those levels, and then here to the downside, that 3920 area, which we just talked about, is also a possible. Finally, SPX structure, the growth of the 4,000 strike is remarkable. It's huge, and we noted this yesterday. It continues to grow. We've all but vaporized and closed out on the 4100s. You can see that's a significant drop compared to where we were yesterday. We're sitting right at transition, the top of transition. This is usually a good launching pad, but we think the 4,000 strike is going to be a number to contend with. So be aware of that. To the downside, 39.45 and 39.30, pretty well defined back and forths, and below that 39.30, we're in an interesting zone where we start becoming more put dominant. Minus GEX remains at 36 and is really not in any danger of losing that position today. We do think this will continue across the weekend. So the goalposts, 3,600, 4,000, play it accordingly. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, comments, we would urge you to come into the Discord. Great dialogue, great group of traders, and would be happy to answer your questions and show you what we're doing here. So GammaEdge.us, click on the pricing tab, fill out the blanks, come on in. 14-day free trial, everything turned on. You get to kick the tires and talk to a lot of folks. GammaEdges on Twitter, of course, here on YouTube. If you like today's content, let me know immediately by smashing that like button. And of course, subscribe, because Taylor and I endeavor to put 2 videos out per day. So we're trying to show you what we're doing, what we get right, and frankly, what we get wrong. It's all out there, and would enjoy your company and your feedback. So with that, I bid you farewell. Have a great Friday. Hope to see you in the Discord. And if we don't get a chance to communicate, make it a great weekend. Thanks, everyone.